Welcome guys to another brilliant thrilling game between Batsman and Robin and Darnall Dynamites today. I welcome Mazhar Bhai and Mozam to the commentary box.
Thank you very much. As always, a pleasure to be alongside you, greats of the game.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. The news from the bottom is Batsman and Robin have won the toss, are elected to bat first. A new opening pair we're seeing today in Zaid Rasool and the non-striker.
Whoa! Brilliant delivery. Starting with a vicious delivery there.
Don't know how that's missed the off stump there.
Asad Imtiaz and Zaid Rasool opening the batting. Down the left side, that should be wide, and it is given a wide. Afzal Muhammad opening the bowling for the Darnall Dynamites.
Yeah, string down leg side there.
So the bowler not warm. First delivery missing the off stump, second one missing the leg stump. That's back to where he should be there.
Yes, good recovery by the bowler there. He doesn't need to bowl extra space in his first few deliveries. He needs to make sure his accuracy is improved. Oh, brilliant take!
What a soft dismissal that is.
Straight to the hands of the fielder. The fielder didn't have to do much. He could have caught that with his glasses off.
Very much so anticlimactic there. No effort put in by the fielder there. He just went straight into his hand. He didn't even have to move an inch.
I think Zaid Rasool just continued to play as he has been throughout the tournament. Fearless cricket. If it comes off, it comes off. But they've got to occupy the crease because Saki was saying the news is he's not here till later on at the moment.
So Majid coming into number 3. I mean, they changed the batting order today. I think they reversed the batting order today.
I think it's because there's no Jawad Salim, there's no Osman Ali today. Sakib's not here at the moment, so they don't.
Whoa! Beautiful delivery, beautiful.
The outside edge. I mean, the thing is with the batsmen is that they come back after a fantastic victory last week, and the Darnall Dynamites, they should not be giving them an inch. I mean, reversing the batting order, I don't think is the right strategy in this game.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that. But the players who open top 3 are not here. They're not available this week. And then Jimmy doesn't want to expose himself too early. I think they've just got to occupy the crease because Sakib, if they're rolled over here and Sakib doesn't turn up, surely he'll be timed out and he won't be able to bat. That's the end of the first over.
Brilliant first over, 2 for 1.
Very tight over from Afzal Muhammad.
It looks like the off spinner Adil will bowl right arm over the wicket now. And Shahid Maktoot.
And lovely
shot.
Brilliant shot.
Where was that shot when he plays for 6 shotters?
And just hit the net there.
I think Shahid's been far too short. He had a brilliant first 2 games. People were saying he could move it the other way as well. But since that game where he'd given Hamza 4 freebies, it's just been a short of a length continuously.
Most definitely. They were calling him the new Said Ajmal.
That's a best
of Shahid Muhammad.
I think it's where he's pitching the ball. He needs to really improve his accuracy. He needs to pitch it slightly more fuller.
Yeah, that was a good ball, the last one. That's better.
Much better, that's it. As Mozam Khatana so eloquently put it, it is his length which is the most crucial part of his bowling.
There,
exactly.
I mean, I was facing him last week. I wasn't hitting him so much, but he was bowling short, to be honest. He didn't. The way he's bowling now, had he bowled like that to me, it would trouble me a lot more. And that's a brilliant length. Look at that. That's better now. He's mixing it up because he seems a bit more confident. The arm swing seems to be a lot more fluent as well. And that's the end of the second over. I believe it's 4 for 1.
Fantastic. Only 4 runs in the first 2 overs.
Fantastic stuff from Darnall. Just to come back to that, Mozam, when you were bowling at you, the thing is you are very experienced and you use the Lagan stance very well. So it's very difficult to bowl at yourself.
I completely agree with you there, Mazhar Bhai. 110%. That unique stance possessed by Mozam Khatana is very difficult to negotiate with, actually.
It's a good field in this lad. Straight back to the bowler. I think what it is with the Lagan stance, to be honest, it's not intentional, but the legs get into a tangle, to be honest.
On the leg side.
Initially it was alright, but I think the condition of the knee has worsened, so it can't move anymore. The degrees of the leg and the knee will not allow me to move any further.
Definitely, I agree with you. Mozam Khatana has been suffering from knee injuries, so one cannot blame him. You're right, the bowler is actually feeling quite well to his own bowling. He's constantly diving on the ground.
Yeah, it's a good fielding.
Brilliant shot. The fielder is completely bewildered by that shot.
I don't think there was much he could do about it.
I mean,
He had no idea where the ball
I
was.
think this is a very, very slow start from Batsman and Robin. I think they missed a trick here. I think Jimmy had to come in at number 3. Given that Saqib Hussain and Usman Ali are not in the top of the order, Usman Salim missing also,
Yeah.
I think the captain had to take the initiative and come in at number 3 or open the batting.
Yeah, I think I agree. I definitely agree with that, Mazhabai. The thing is though, Majid's a naturally aggressive player, and so is Qasir. By looking at him, it looks like he's aggressive. So I think Jimmy thought he'd rather leave himself for the power play overs. Once the team's got a bit of a platform, maybe 20, 30, and come in and then just excel from there.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Mozam Katana, that they want to lay a very strong foundation for Jimmy to come in and really accelerate the run rate in the latter half of the
That's
innings.
the end of the over. 3 overs gone, 8 for 1, and it's Shahid Muhammad to continue. Let's see if he can be consistent with his length again. That's a brilliant length again. Good use of the feet from the batsman there, Qasir.
Just coming back to Mozam's point there, you're saying he looks very aggressive, this Asad Imtiaz. He's made 2 runs of 7 deliveries. I mean, he could look aggressive, but he's not being aggressive. And that's an opportunity missed by Shahid Muhammad.
That is definitely Saeed Azmal on shore there. Bowling like him and then fielding. He's just moved away from the ball there. It was like a dolly back to him.
And Majid was saying 3 runs of 9
He's
deliveries.
laughing himself.
Well, he did have to make some ground there to get to the ball actually, so credit has to be given to him.
And a run out opportunity.
This fielder doesn't seem interested. Did he have his Weetabix?
Looking aggressive and being aggressive are 2 different things, Mozambique. I mean, these batsmen are starting very slow. The strike rate is way below 33, they're under 34 strike
Well,
rate.
on the bright side, both of them have consistently maintained the same strike rate of 33.3.
Good run, very good run. If I was them, I'd take him over the second there.
And Mazharbai only takes a ball or 2 to really accelerate that strike rate. So it can change from 33 to 80 to 90 just with 1 boundary.
Well played actually. He's done it there. I mean,
I think that was the Dusra. And they might be running for 2. And now run. Oh, Shahid not.
fantastic delivery, done him all ends up, but then to actually get any bat on that and just nudge it to point for a single, which turned out to be 2 overall. Good batting.
Yeah, I believe the batsman negotiated that delivery very well.
I mean,
He twisted the bat handle in his hand in the last second
Yeah.
to maneuver the ball into that right corner.
13 for 1 after 4 overs. Back to Mazhabai's point about him looking aggressive. It's definitely true, but the first ball he middled looked like he's a batsman of some quality. That's why I thought he might continue with his aggressive nature. It doesn't look like he's going to hold back for too long though.
Oh, you know, opportunity. Yeah, that should be out.
Oh, missed
Oh, that's an
opportunity.
extra.
And extra run.
Instead of going
in
for the
total-
keeper's gloves, he's gone for the wickets. That's glory. That is going for glory.
That's 2 runs in the end.
Error by a fielder there actually. He should have tried to get into the wicketkeeper's
He's a good bowler,
gloves.
this lad, Adil. Keeps it dot to dot. He's got some pace and bounce as well. So, interesting.
If I'm not correct, this bowler did trouble you guys last week.
I think more than him, to be honest with you, whilst batting out there, it was probably Munir, to be honest. He was so like Shadab.
Was that his head?
Off-cutters.
Did I hit your head, mate? Concussion.
With Adil, to be honest, he kept it on a good length. It was harder to maneuver, but with Munir, it was hard to pick.
Yeah,
that.
definitely. I do believe Munir is. Oh, misfield.
Oh, it's nothing though. It's not
No
nothing.
damage done.
Good shot, deserved 6 that was.
Most definitely.
I think he needs to bring Munir in early, but at the moment, he can afford to carry on
Yes,
like
I
this.
think the captain is saving Munir for the heavy guns that are going to come down the order. Jimmy
Also,
in
it could be
particular.
the power play overs. Could be the power play because they haven't taken power play after the 5th over now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he just gets it to grip, gives it plenty of revs. It's like it was off spin, just like Shadab does. More than swing, it's like cutters off the pitch.
Yes, definitely. I agree with
The
you.
only difference is, the difference is with Shadab, it's very consistent. He does it week in, week out. With Munir, he's not as consistent. So if anything which is a half track or short of a length, it's easy to rock back and pull. I believe that's ended another over. A successful one once again for the Darnall Dynamites.
5 overs gone, 17 for 1, 5.1.
I sincerely believe that this is a very, very slow start. I think there will be a lot of pressure on Jimmy and Saqib coming into the latter overs. I think Darnall have kept a lid on. I'm not letting them get away at all.
I think the inexperience of the two batsmen playing in this venue is showing now.
I think we need that word in bold, inexperience.
And
I mean, at this stage, I think you need one experienced batsman or one inexperienced batsman. That's why I'd say Jimmy should have opened or come in at number 3.
I agree with you, Mazhar Bhai, there. But it's also to be noted that Darnall Dynamites have a very, very weak batting lineup. Barring their captain and Munir, there really isn't much batting to come. So
This is a run of opportunity, wrong end.
I wouldn't say they're weak. I think they've got a talented batting lineup, but they're just not in form as a team. It's just like the six-shotters who rely heavily on their bowlers, but they've got batting talent, but not everyone's clicked together, if that makes sense. So sometimes batsmen have to then get into a shell, anchor the innings, and not play freely because they know if they lose their wicket, possibly, it could be the end of the team.
Oh, lovely shot.
It's good fielding there.
definitely, you make a good point there because teamwork really is crucial in these kind of leagues. The whole team holding a combined, unified vision can actually lead to much better results than individual performances. 6 overs gone 20 for 1 now.
It looks like they're taking power play.
The power play has been initiated now. It'll be interesting what kind of tactics Batsman and Robin really bring forth to his power play.
Just to remind the fans out there, spectators, neutral viewers, or fans of any particular team, or even those who have not been following us or following us for the first time, both of these teams are on the same points, as well as a Night's Watchman who are going to be playing Molvi Sixers later on. So the bottom 3 teams of the league are all on 4 points each, I believe, and the top 3 teams are all on 8 points each. So it's a fascinating contest because the points tables will be looking different at the end of this week, to be honest, and no one has to rely on each other. They just got to win every game, every team. It's not a situation where anyone needs to rely on another team winning.
Benedict informs me also that
That's how.
John T. Rhodes there, John T. Rhodes.
There's definitely no aggressive running there though.
Coming into this now, Mozam, this is the power play. You have to take risks. I think there's a lot of pressure on these big shoulders coming through now of Jimmy and Ali. Taking the captaincy, buying yourself down the order. I mean, we used to say this back in the days with Pakistan when Inzamam used to bat down the order. He should have batted at 3 for Pakistan.
Definitely, but I think this is what I was saying. Jimmy was waiting to come in for power play, and maybe when there's 20 runs on the board, he was just waiting for a bit of a platform to be. I think Jimmy's.
They have to run. They can't be running the captain out. And good decision, Mamajid. Good decision. That is a very good decision.
Jimmy was on the back foot. Madhabai, he was on the back foot.
Most definitely, I am not disagreeing that was Majid's call, and Jimmy has made a mistake there. But the wicket of Jimmy is more crucial than Majid, in my opinion.
Yes, good point.
The batsman who's just been run out, walking off, you just heard him on the stump mic saying there's no run there. But of course, his captain's on strike now. We couldn't really.
Yeah, I think the fact that he hesitated so much actually contributed to that run out. If he had just listened to Jimmy's call and run straight away, there might have been a better chance.
Coming back to that, Adnan, by anything in front of the wicket is the batsman's call. Anything behind is a non-striker's call. But you need to, coming into us, nearly hit us, but we need to take into effect that this is indoor cricket. You don't have much space here. Behind the wicket, you don't have much space.
Especially if you're rocking back onto the back foot and it's in front of square.
Yes.
It's difficult. I know there's no fielder there, but he hit it with pace.
Yes. I totally agree with you, Mozambique, there. Yes. That was not a run, but the thing is the wicket of Jimmy is more of a threat to Darnall Dynamites than Majid. With all due respect to Majid.
I mean now Jimmy just needs to put that behind him, focus on the game, just carry on like nothing happened. That's sometimes the best way to go about batting when you've run a partner out.
I believe this is what happened to the Molvi Sixers captain Adnan in the previous game. He ran out his player in the first few deliveries and he was under severe pressure to perform and was caught out.
This is the Molvi Sixers. Oh, in the air! And that's out.
You can't use two hands. You can't use two hands. He's juggled it with two hands. According to the rules and the books here, if you juggle it with the hand that you're going to take it with just that one hand, you can take the catch.
Yes.
However, if you juggle it with the left and then you end up taking it with the right, you can't. You can't basically, in a nutshell, you can't use any assistance other than the hand that you're going to take the catch with in the end. Otherwise, it'll be not out. It'll be deemed not out just like that. I believe that's the end of the over. There were 2 runs off that. Delivery is 28 for the loss of 3 and it's 7 overs gone.
Mozam Khatana, just coming back to this point now, 28 after 7 overs is not a score that should be troubling anybody. In the air, hit the wickets.
I agree with that, Mazabai, but let's not forget, teams have won defending 50. Teams have got it close defending 40. Like you say, if there's an intention to win, you can defend 20, you can defend 10. They've got to get a score on board. At the moment, I don't know if Sakib's in the shed. He might not have turned up yet. So it's all about, and then you've got best part of 5 overs left. As long as Jimmy stays in.
Coming back to that, Mozam, they are missing top bowlers in Usman Salim, in Usman Ali. So we have to take that into consideration as well. They haven't got the bowling. I mean, Sakib doesn't bowl much. He bowls spin, so he wouldn't be a big threat. So we have to take that into consideration as well.
At the moment, I think from what I've seen so far, you're going to get 3 overs of possibly Jimmy, 3 overs of the striker who's Hassan Tahir, is that his name? You've got 3 overs of Majid who's been run out. If Sakib comes, I've seen probably bowl another 3 now. I don't think Kessel will be bowling, and I don't know who their 6th player is. Zahid Rasool. So, but yeah, I agree. The bowling's not to the potential.
The chase will be very interesting actually, and I think what will be key to victory for the Darnall Dynamites will be the patience.
I've got an issue here with the umpires. I mean, it slows the game down when they've got issues with scoring. What's happening? You might know more about this, Adnan.
Yes, Mozam Katana, you make a good point. Unfortunately, these technical errors, we have no power over them. We are trying to improve our IT department. Benedict.
But what happens? What happens? Explain. Does he add an extra run or what does he do?
No. It's just a computer freezes at times, and the system is trying to update itself. So we have to wait until the system has updated itself before we can continue with the game. So the viewers can get live updates of the scores.
Oh, good delivery. What a delivery in the block hole.
Good Yorker.
Fantastic delivery, whether in the power play or outside the power play. That is a fantastic delivery.
Yeah,
brilliant Yorker.
Not much you can do about that, right in the block hole. That's another dot ball.
Fantastic over in the power play, this is.
Yeah, I think he's been given the license to just make the most of the power play, trying to clear the boundaries as much as he can.
I don't think this is intelligent batting. The viewers can see a huge gap on the left side of the screen, and that's what. Missed opportunity by the captain there. Missed opportunity. As I was mentioning, 30 for 3 after 8 overs. There is a huge gap on the left side. Now the power play is over. That gap will now be filled by a player.
A player called Israr Hussain.
Yes, Israr Hussain. And that gap was not utilized. I don't think.
Interesting. Let's see if you.
Effectively enough.
I mean, they took 10 runs off after 2 power play overs. I don't think that's enough. That's not enough at all coming into the situation. Now they've lost 3 wickets and they've got Sakib Hussain still in the sheds. As far as where our report system is confirming that to us.
You see, that's my point. Shadab and him bowling the same sort of deliveries, but he's just far more inconsistent than Shadab. You rarely see Shadab bowling that length. Anything. Shadab's between that yellow line, you see that red line just in front of the batsman, and that black line. Anything between there, that's why he's pitching it mostly. If you're going to pitch it any further out, it's going to be a short delivery which can easily dispatch.
I agree with you. And another point is, I mean, he does not possess express pace, so that bouncer is not lethal at all. That's exactly where he needs to be pitching it.
But pace, I mean, we're comparing it to Shadab. I don't know if you're talking about neither batsman bowlers having express pace. You're not talking about the likes of Arabia. Even Shadab himself is more reliant on the grip and the off-footer. Just like that put in a bit.
I was making a point actually regarding the bouncer. So if you do not possess extra pace, this is why Shadab actually doesn't utilize the bouncer, because he also is aware of his strengths and he knows pace is not necessarily a strength, and he realizes that length there. That was a lot more difficult for Jimmy to negotiate.
I mean, coming back to the comparison between Munir and Shadab, we need to understand that Shadab plays a lot of indoor cricket. Munir we've not seen as much, so that can have an effect. Experience.
Hello, just 1 minute. Can you just put that stump, that bail right? Because you're gonna get out, bro. Even with air.
Come on, square leg.
I mean, we pay good fees to these square leg and these umpires, so they should be moving off the seat. I think that's a bum ball. I do think that's a bum ball.
That's a bum ball. It bounced. I mean, we're just commentating.
Fair call by the umpire there. Even the fielder himself is actually saying that.
Just to let you guys know at home, my comment there did not have anything to do with the decision. You can't see the square leg on screen. He straight away called it a bump ball. That's not out. I was just commentating on air for you guys. So that's end of another over.
36 for 3 after 9. Whoa, brilliant Joker. Oh, well fielded as well.
Coming back to the run out between Majid and Jamil, this is what I mean. Jamil is on 13 off 10 deliveries, a strike rate of 130. With all due respect to Majid, his strike rate was around 50, 30 to 50. So this is what makes the difference for the Batsman and Robin.
During the time that Jimmy has occupied the crease, it's also to be noted that power play was taking place,
That's
and
what I think
when
he-
Majid was on, there was a extra fielder there, so it was more difficult for him to score as well.
But I definitely understand what you mean. But had Usman Ali been playing, Jawad Salim and Saqib as well, I'm definitely sure then Jamil wouldn't have held back because he had other people to rely on. Here, I just think if he felt that if he'd gotten out, then the team was in shambles. Good shot.
Oh, good effort by the fielder there. What a brilliant effort.
I don't think he knew what happened there.
Perhaps unintentional, but nevertheless,
It looked good. That's what counts.
what a brilliant Yorker and a run opportunity.
Oh,
Whoa!
and he was gone. Good backing up though. Definitely got to give it to the fielder there. Isla Hussain. Brilliant backing up.
What a brilliant delivery. Beautiful Yorker swinging in and knocking off leg stump.
Bowled him around.
That is the best sight for a fast bowler.
As far as I'm aware, the reports are coming through, the Saqib Hussain has not turned up yet. And they've only 5
And
minutes now.
this is why I say, had Jimmy gone in early and gotten out and Saqib doesn't turn up, then what do you do? It's a shambles, absolute mess this is.
Just to confirm now, if Saqib turns up now, does he bat?
What's happening here? So is he getting a second chance to bat or what's happening?
I think Saqib's not
He's a
come.
runner.
Saqib's not come.
Yeah, but where's the
Saqib's not come.
play for them or?
No, but they will get an extra fielder, a reserve fielder.
And this is my
for the
point. See,
innings.
the pressure on Jimmy is immense, so
He is the final batsman, yeah.
So can Saqib come on back now if he had come into the game?
Yeah, I believe so. The committee is downstairs. They will deal with this situation if it arises.
you're part of the committee, what's the rules?
The part of the committee has been. Oh, a brilliant
Good
shot.
fielding, good fielding.
Taking out the best fielder,
Various
he's a great
different
fielder.
segments which deal with different things. So the committee member sat at square leg, deal with the more digital aspects of the league, and the committee member sat downstairs will deal with the more legal issues which you have just mentioned.
What is this? Is it civil law that you're talking about legal issues, mate? Would you like to elaborate on that point? It didn't,
Yeah.
I don't think it made much sense to people viewing at home.
Sure, I will
To say the
elaborate
least,
on
it
it.
didn't make sense to me, so I do apologize.
Issues that are interfering or within the constitution that we have written up for the indoor league. Oh, brilliant catch! Oh my
Everything we
goodness!
talked
He's
about now.
absolutely surprised. Is he a Molly who just had Alva? What was he doing? He's absolutely surprised by taking that catch. And he's not even moving. What's happening? It's slow motion here.
47 for 5, and it would appear this is the end of the innings.
Definitely. End of the
A
innings.
very rare incident where there are not enough players actually, so they are having to declare in essence.
That's better for their run rate though, because the longer they, this is my point when you go back to when Shadab played that innings, the longer you bat and the less runs you score, the more negative your run rate goes. That team's got out now, they'll only be accountable for 10.5 overs and not 12 overs. So they made 47 runs of 10.5 rather than 12. So their net run rate won't be affected as badly, if that makes sense.
Oh, good point. Also, I would like to make a point that the wickets also contribute towards the net run rate as well. So maybe perhaps Shadab preserving his wicket may outweigh him playing aggressively and scoring some
Right, the
runs.
6 shotters were 5 down.
I mean, coming back to this run rate, I mean, I'm one of them people against run rates. I mean, I would obviously first go for the win, and then the run rate. Obviously, it's something that you can't control. Whether you score 12 off an over or you score 0 off an over, that's something you can't control. I mean, we're coming to a close now. Batsman
Closing
Robin
the first
48
innings.
for 5 of 11 overs.
We'll continue
and
with the
Saqib
debate.
Hussain
See you after tea.